Hey everybody, welcome back for another episode of The Man Shreds.
It's a commentary on Christian life and culture from a pastor's wife and her sidekick.
That's me.
I am your favorite host, Sarah Mantrek.
And I'm that other one, JJ Mantrek. Alright, you ready?
I am.
A couple of things before we dive into the news desk, which, by the way...
Don't dive into the news desk.
But before we get there, I did want to mention, so I opened my computer and I logged on, I was pulling up all the stuff and the stories that we're about to talk about, and I just got a notification that we have surpassed our 500th episode. 500th download. Sorry.
I was going to say, I was like, whoa, we've been doing this for how long? 500th episode. Feels like a lifetime.
3 months in, we already hit 500 episodes.
What have you been doing on the side?
Yeah, I've been posting every day. No, but 500 downloads, which was really cool. That's really cool. Exciting. We were close, yesterday, and I was like, oh, look, we're getting close.
So what do people give you when you hit your 500th
Nothing.
episode?
There's just no rewards at all.
No, $500, no. 500 cookies.
Oh, you know what though? With VBS this past week, I was stone tired coming off of that.
Yeah, it's been a week.
It was a long week, but I also very rewarding.
Oh yeah, it's equal parts exhausting and energizing. In many ways, it's exhausting just physically because of how much on demand you are and the kids and everything, but energizing to see the vibrancy in life that sharing the gospel with kids brings. And
I just the last couple of years in particular, and I don't know if it's just because we have kids in the program now or what, but I did not appreciate VBS. Maybe 5-6 years ago even. I was like, it's that thing we do. I don't really care about it, whatever. And now I'm like, man, this is one of the best things we do all summer.
It is very fun. It is.
Yeah, so anyways, I was appreciated. What I really enjoyed this year was how deep the Bible portion went. Like you were doing the Bible stories. Yeah. And they were very interactive, and there was the kids got to act it out, and we had people come in and do stuff, and very vibrant setups and imagery, like the crossing through the water, the Red Sea, and you had cool. Water on the sides of the hallway, and they went down, and I mean the 10th plague, that was really intense with the Passover, and it was just very heartfelt and emotional, and I don't know, I thought and maybe it's just really good curriculum or what, but I have not been so profound. I have not found previous VBSs to be so profound. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
I really did make some good connections.
Yeah, this year was good. This was a really good year. Anyways, let's approach that news desk because we have lots of really fun stories. Okay, so I found this story from AP, and it's... So the title is, we have done Florida Man in the past. We've talked about Florida Man because the people of Florida do such strange things that there's a whole ethos out there of Florida Man does this, right? And so this article is, has Florida man finally met his match? Meet Florida Sheriff.
I have actually heard this
story. You saw this?
And I want you to retell it because I found it so strange.
It's so bizarre. The Sunshine I can't talk. The Sunshine State has become internationally notorious for the oddball miscreants who populate its police blotters and local news reports, which might be my favorite sentence ever. Known collectively as Florida Man. There are murders and mayhem like any place else, but then there are the only in Florida incidents like the man who was charged with assault with a deadly weapon for throwing an alligator through a Wendy's drive-through window in Palm Beach County in 2015. It was
you didn't throw that guy.
The guy from Michigan. And
he came down to Florida and threw the alligator through the window. Yeah, that fits.
But an equally eccentric cast of hard-boiled sheriffs make a career of going after these guys. Florida Man meet Florida
Sheriff. It's a whole other level of...
it makes sense, right? Yeah. What's that line? Oh, what movie is that? It's The Dark Knight in Batman. It's like, you start wearing a mask and they start doing this, and then he introduces the Joker. That comes to life right here. You got weirdo criminals,
so
and
bizarre.
You gotta have weirdo good guys to go after them. That's all but one of Florida's 67 counties have an elected sheriff, and they wield enormous influence in part because they are so often the only countywide elected official. They head agencies that typically patrol unincorporated portions of their county, and they also provide backup to city police. But many, like this guy Marceno, They hold made-for YouTube news conferences, and they use TikTok and other social media, frequently going just as viral as their perpetrators.
It's very strange.
It just feels like we're going in such a weird direction with the police force when they're using TikTok.
I don't know that I trust my local community being kept safe by officers who are using TikTok.
It's just so here's one.
And that's judgy, but
there was during a recent news conference about burglary, Johnson, elected in 2016, said a homeowner had fired shots but didn't hit the suspect. Johnson encouraged that homeowner to take a gun safety course offered every other Saturday so he could better take matter into his own hands. Like, that's what the sheriff said. He said, well, next time try and hit the guy.
Okay. I feel safe.
Literally, the quote is, learn to shoot a lot better, save the taxpayers money. What? On the Atlantic coast, named Cape Canaveral, Brevard County Sheriff Wayne Ivey makes a game of crime literally. He has a weekly Wheel of Fugitive videos feature the sheriff spinning a wheel with photos of the 10 of the county's most wanted.
That's weird.
A TikTok channel where he takes fugitive photos, puts it on a wheel, and spins it. Everybody watches it. Even the fugitives watch it to see who becomes the fugitive of the week. They're taking the serious work of police officers and turning it into
It feels like it demeans it.
It does. It really does. It's so interesting. The Twitter account of Pasco County Sheriff Chris Noko has starred in A&E Network's live PD shows, made a splash with his local quote-unquote sad criminal of the day posts. His agency also copyrighted the now viral hashtag 9pm routine, a reminder to lock car doors and homes every night.
What?
I don't even know what to say. I'm so they're I guess it's
just so sensationalist. It's boy.
In January, the department cut off social media comments because accounts fell victim to their success. With over 300,000 Facebook followers, more than double that of the entire county.
Oh my gosh.
They were said people were too often reporting crimes on the Facebook page rather than calling 911.
Oh boy.
What?
Wow. Okay.
There's this one Polk County Sheriff Grady Judge, this guy. Okay, so let me just read this description because he was kind of the oddest one. So he targets gangs, drug dealers, and prostitution rings. In his folksy southern drawl, has been a frequent hit on TV ever since he was first elected in 2005. He says of school shooters, "We're gonna shoot you graveyard dead." Which is a very bad Florida accent that I was going to
say that's terrible. But graveyard dead, I like that.
He has also praised homeowners for firing on intruders, including one last December. He gave him an early Christmas present. Only Santa Claus gets to come into your house. Terrible.
You should probably never do a southern accent.
I should,
again.
I should stop. I've never been good at accents once ever in my life.
Yeah, that's true. That's okay.
Judd often refers to Polk County Jail as the Polk Pokey. And last holiday season, his office sold out their version of the popular Elf on the Shelf doll, dubbed Sheriff on a Shelf. And he personally autographed bobbleheads and sold them. The man has bobbleheads. He is a sheriff.
I question the validity of his post at this point.
Oh, you'll like this, though. One of Judd's latest target was not exactly the crime of the century, but Judd had plenty to say about a woman who was accused of assaulting workers at a McDonald's because her order was wrong. So that's the crime, and he gets on the internet and uses social media and says, she was a pretty lady, but she was McMad. I don't know if she was 2 fries short of a Happy Meal, but she created a McMess and acted like a McNut. This is Polk County. We don't put up with that McJunk.
Oh, no. No. That's not even good. That's not even good. There's not even puns in there. It's just the garbage all over the place.
That's low-hanging fruit, guys. Come on.
Seriously.
Oh, man. So, yeah, apparently, Florida sheriff is a thing. When you sensationalize crime, the escalation, right? You're going to sensationalize crime fighting.
That's bad.
It's very interesting I gotta figure there's so many vigilante movies where there's super weirdo criminals and then super weirdo crime fighting guys. It was gonna bleed into real world in some way. I'm not saying they're vigilantes, but the the popularizing and sensationalizing of it. It's just, I don't know. I thought that was really interesting. Florida man, meet Florida sheriff.
Jeez, that's just bizarre.
All right, what else you got?
All right, my last story is very strange, perhaps along the lines of Florida man. In Ada, Oklahoma, have you heard this story? Mm-mm. A suspect is under arrest in connection with bizarre weekend homicide in Pontotoc County. This was about 3 weeks ago. So it's the beginning of July.
No, I didn't hear it.
A man, 53-year-old man, admitted that he had killed his friend along the South Canadian River. This is in Oklahoma. Okay. He appeared to be under the influence of something. His statement was that his friend had... His statement, so this friend, Jimmy, so this man is named Larry Sanders, said he killed his friend Jimmy Knighton because his friend had summoned Bigfoot to come and kill him. And that's why he had to kill Mr. Knighton.
I have to kill you because.
But get this. This is the funniest part. This funniest part of the story. This is so sad. It's not funny. Sorry. Did you know that catching? Okay, so apparently there's a. When you catch catfish with your hands, that's what this article says. It's called noodling.
What?
Sanders and Knighton had been noodling in the river. Does not sound like what they're talking about. They had been noodling in the river when a confrontation ensued. According to the statement issued by the Oklahoma Bureau of Investigation, Sanders reported striking and strangling his friend Knighton. The search agencies weren't able to locate the body until Sunday afternoon. Now investigators are working to uncover the details of the crime. It always makes it easier. You have to prove all the elements of the crime and what the suspect is telling you actually happened. So the man is charged with first-degree murder.
All right, so... oh, boy. Okay, there's a lot to unpack here. First off, noodling in the river.
Yeah.
Nope. They need to find a new phrase for that because there's no way that anybody reads that and thinks, oh, yeah, they're probably catching catfish. What? Also, is this the plot of Smeagol from Lord of the Rings?
I guess sounds like it.
Isn't that what happened?
They're outside and they're catching something, and the one guy
found a ring.
In
the bottom of the river.
He threatened me and said he was going to summon Bigfoot, and I had to kill him. Oh my gosh, this is horrifying. Like.
So but we kind of skipped over. Was there some kind of intoxicant or drug or?
It says he appeared to be under the influence of something, said the sheriff.
Oh, I thought.
So Sanders is the man who admitted that he killed someone. Yes. It just says a bizarre weekend homicide. So they found, deputies found Larry Doyle Sanders, who's 53, had admitted to a family member that he killed his friend. He appeared to be under the influence of something, said the sheriff.
Okay, but it doesn't tell us what it is.
His statement was that Mr. Knighton had summoned Bigfoot to come and kill him, and that's why he had to kill his friend.
Now, how do you summon Bigfoot? Like, what's the ritual involved there? Because
apparently when you're noodling catfish...
I'm trying to remember, in Goofy movie, they summoned Bigfoot, right? It was like with like SpaghettiOs or something, right?
Didn't they just run into him and then he went after their alphabet soup or something?
Something like, I can't remember. I love that movie so much. Bigfoot. He summoned Bigfoot, so I had to kill him.
It's so bizarre.
That is definitely bizarre.
Well,
and okay, that thing when you go in the river and you catch a fish with your hands, like that's really cool, right? Like that's a skill, I would say. You know, like anybody can catch a fish with a net or a pole or whatever, but to go in the water and catch it with your hands, and the best they can come up with, like I'm totally hung up on this, the best they can come up with is noodling.
Yeah, so it says an Oklahoma noodler was arrested and confessed to killing his fishing partner. So they were both 53 years old. They were noodling, which is a way of catching catfish via hand. That's all it says. Way of catching.
Never heard of this
so
before.
He claimed that while he was at the river, his friend intended to feed him to Bigfoot. That's what the affidavit cited.
Drugs are bad, folks. That's the message here. Don't do drugs.
Larry indicated that Jimmy attempted to get away from him so that the Sasquatch could eat Larry. So Larry and Jimmy are noodling.
Get away from me.
Larry and Jimmy noodling down there on the Canadian River, and somebody summoned Bigfoot, and
I think the theme of this episode is how poorly we cannot do Southern accents. I'm pretty sure we've alienated half the
fact that I just said the phrase Larry and Jimmy were noodling, and I just learned that word about a half an hour ago.
Larry and Jimmy were noodling. And that's what I'm saying, though. Like, it's a very impressive thing to catch a fish.
Yeah,
it deserves a better title. It needs to be like, and they were... I don't have a better word, but just something cool sounding, that noodling doesn't sound cool.
This says that the Oklahoma State Bureau investigation thought that the friend had basically tricked the man who killed the guy. So we've got Larry Sanders and Jimmy Knighton. Says that Sanders thought that Knighton, Jimmy, the guy who was killed, tricked him into being out there, and that the two fought for about an hour. So he allegedly choked Jimmy to death.
Wow.
A little Smeagol situation.
Yeah,
there.
Exactly.
And then confessed to his daughter. Oh my gosh. So
no, what?
So Larry killed Jimmy. And Larry's daughter was dating Jimmy's son.
Okay. Their parents, their kids are dating. Yep. Also, can I just point out that these are all names of the VeggieTale characters? The cucumber strangled the squash.
Jimmy and Jerry. So he appeared to be under the influence of something. His statement was that Knighton had summoned Bigfoot to come and kill him, and that's why he had to kill Mr. Knighton.
Wow.
Okay, but the guy who killed had outstanding warrants from 2 drug-related cases. In 2019, he was placed on probation for 5 years for bringing meth into jail after being arrested for public intoxication, and is now facing first-degree murder.
Man.
Wow.
That is quite a
I'm
tale.
So upset that you summoned Bigfoot that you need to die.
Bigfoot. Noodling.
It's just, I'd read that story and I was like, wait, what?
That is just a mind trip of a story. That's hard to keep up with. First is just my ignorance of the term. I didn't know that that's what it's called.
I did not know that was called noodling.
And I keep coming back to that. But then, beyond that, there's obvious drug usage. Their kids are dating. They're catching fish. They're chatting. Suddenly, he thinks Bigfoot has been summoned, so I have to kill you.
Stop Bigfoot from coming to eat him. Never in my life have I been so paranoid and scared about Bigfoot attacking me that I felt the need to cause harm to someone that I know. Watch out, the Sasquatch are coming. What?
Well, one thing that never, and I know it's like in the brain of a drug-addled person, this isn't going to make sense, but it's like, why would killing him stop Bigfoot from coming?
If anything, wouldn't you want him as bait so you can run away and that guy can be slower?
Him and eat him instead of me.
Or throw the catfish you've been noodling. Throw him at Bigfoot. Come on, that's going to distract him.
That is a insane story.
Thank
you for bringing that into my life to this
evening.
That
was next level strange news.
Amazing. All right, what do you think? You ready for Sponsors of Your Life?
Sure.
Go ahead.
All right. So sponsor my life this week. Just a major shout out to the auto repair shop that fixed our car on Friday after we had some very strange and last minute car troubles that prevented us from making it to our destination. We were planning to go across the state to the beach to spend time with family. Gonna have a nice relaxing day after having a super busy week. And
exactly halfway there.
You're about an hour and a half away, or an hour and a half out, just outside of Lansing. Had about an hour and 20 minutes to go, and our car started making some weird chugging, sensations, and I thought that it was maybe the oil wasn't working its way through the system. We had just gotten the oil changed the day before, or something was strange on the road, and it stopped, and I thought, no, we're okay. And then a few minutes later, it started happening again more frequently, so we pulled over, and JJ called the first repair shop that popped up on Google, and they were able to get us in, and they were able to check out our car, diagnose the problem, and thankfully it was all, we ended up in there because we had gotten there just a little bit before 10 in the morning.
Yeah, it took them 2 hours, 3 hours?
Well, we got in there a little bit before 10 and we were out by 1.
Noon, 12:30, 1.
And then, so They were very fast, very efficient, very friendly, and
very professional.
Very helpful.
It was awesome.
Writers all that was said and done. Yes, Writers Auto Body, right just outside of Lansing near Grand Blanc. Not Grand Blanc, Grand Ledge.
Yeah, there you go.
Grand Blanc is over by us.
Yeah.
I was very grateful for them because they were able to help us out, and on a Friday afternoon, that was a great job. So, yeah, crazy story.
Truly, though, and it was just something else. All right, sponsor of my life. I'm going to piggyback off that because the end of that story. So we were supposed to go to the beach and spend a day with family, and it's hard. You don't want to sort of let on to the kids that you're super frustrated and bummed out because trying to keep things positive or whatever. So my sponsor of life is what we did was the auto place. They were like, here's a rental, or you can borrow this car while we're fixing your car. There's a couple of parks if you want to go by. And so we drove like 2 miles up the road and we just went to the park. And I love my sponsor of my life is the public parks that are out there. The playground equipment, they're very simple, they're put together, and the little slides and the little all the climbing structure stuff. It's very simple, but it is such an amazing thing in my kid's life right now. Like all of them really got into it,
Yeah.
Liam has sort of passed the timid phase. He's old enough and sure of himself that he's all over the place. Amos gets a little scared in some of the areas, but mostly he's just following Liam everywhere. Ezra is still very timid, but it was kind of his first thing, and he got more confident as the hour and a half went by that we were at the park. And that was just so much fun. It turned out to be a really good day. We got back, so we finished. It was too late in the day for us to go over to the other side of the state to do the beach day. So we ended up just coming home. We got some food and we came home. And we get home and we pull into the driveway. And I love this moment where, the kids get out of their car seat and he walks up and the oldest just walks up and he says, "Guys, thank you for such a wonderful day. I just love spending time with you guys." And I couldn't handle it. It was so
it just erased all of the negative things that had happened because I was crying and stressed about money, and everything was just so unexpected, and we were so disappointed, and that just kind of all turned it around because we really tried to make the best of a really crummy situation. And
for them,
he was very happy about it.
Kind of drove a long way for a nice day at the park, and we got lunch, and then we drove home. And they didn't feel all the disappointment of what could have been. And so that was really a sponsor of my life, was playground equipment that is in every town I've ever been in. Everybody's got it, and it's so much fun, and I'm just glad it's there. So sponsor of my life.
Heck yeah.
Awesome. Okay, it is time for a brand new game /segment/thing. I'm a little disappointed in myself because I pride myself in coming up with goofy names of all our little bits that we do. But this one, I have a working title of Motto Mayhem Mystery, or Motto Mystery Mayhem. I like that second one better. Motto Mystery Mayhem. And what this is that in the Christian world of advertising and products, there are slogans that people use, and they can be good, they can be bad. It's kind of a play off the clever and cringe bit, but it's a game. And so this is going to be Motto Mystery Mayhem VBS edition.
Okay.
Right? Because we just did Vacation Bible School last week, and it was so much fun.
Fresh in our minds.
And, it's fresh in our minds. And so I was thinking what I would do is I would read to you some VBS taglines.
Okay.
Some VBS slogans, and you have to guess what is the Bible story that they hit on.
Okay. I could do this.
Now, before I get into this, I think that it's fun to poke fun at this stuff, but I do want to reiterate just how amazing I think VBS is. It's such a great thing, especially these last couple of years. I have seen, it's just an amazing thing to teach kids about God's love. So yes, it's cheesy, and it can be painful, and maybe a little superficial and goofy, but I have so much respect and love in my heart for Vacation Bible School. It's a great thing. But let's take a look at these slogans. All right, so I am on, we're going to start with Christian Book. ChristianBook.com has a whole page of VBS that's coming up. So this one is called Make Waves. All right, it's a VBS. It's called Make Waves, and the tagline is, "What you do today can change the world around you. Make waves." And it's kind of got a beachfront picture in the back, right? There's water, and there's a surfboard and a floaty thing and some umbrellas on the beach. Okay? Just random stab in the dark. Any idea what
Miracles of Jesus?
Miracles of Jesus doesn't look like it. So what they do is they have like 5 days of VBS. Okay. Most VBSs are structured with 5 days. Yep. And they mix it up. Sometimes all the stories are linked, and sometimes they're just throwing it all together, like right?
Thematically connected.
So the first one, day 1, is called Wave Maker, which is the play off the popular song Waymaker.
Yes.
And that's just the creation story, Genesis 1 and 2.
Okay.
All right. The second one is Catch the Wave, Peter walking on the water.
Oh, so there's a theme of water.
Water walk. Yeah. Okay. And not just water, but I think the theme is like people who made waves, who caused big changes in the people around them. Kind of like, you throw the rock in the pond and the ripples. Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to take a stab. We got 3 more days. We've done creation and we've done Peter walking on water. What other...
Moses parting the Red Sea.
Ooh, I bet that's in here. Nope. No Moses. We missed it.
Jesus turning water into wine?
No.
No?
This is terrible.
Oh, man.
Day 3 is Jesus' resurrection.
Not even Jesus' baptism? If we're going with the water theme, what the heck, man? You missed a prime opportunity there.
They really should have. That would have been better. Okay, this one's good. The Philip and the Ethiopian ruler.
Oh.
And the baptism, the baptism of the eunuch. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's valid.
I like that one. But then the last one it's called Ripple Effect, and it's just the fruits of the Spirit, which is a second metaphor. Like
Boy, that's disappointing.
Yeah, I think feel like walking on water made sense, and the rest of them were kind of swing and a miss. Like there really wasn't much consistent.
I don't like that. That's not very.
Yeah,
it's
not a bad theme, but they could have picked better.
It has some holes.
Yeah. All right, this one's called Food Truck Party.
Food Truck Party.
This is a VBS called Food Truck Party, and it's on a roll with God.
First of all, that's classically cringe, because why are you making food truck theme for Bible stories? But
all right, so it is stories.
I hope that there's a bread and loaves story, loaves and fish story in this.
Yes. So that's your guess. What do you think the theme is, or what are the stories? What's linking the stories?
Dining with Jesus. I don't know. I have no idea. Meals really bring people together.
It is. It's Passover? About food in the Bible. Okay. So the first one is God provides manna and quail.
Oh, I like that.
Right?
That's good. We just had that in our VBS.
That's solid though, right? Yeah. Manna and quail, that fits solid. With food truck. Elijah the widow and the endless oil.
Okay. Yep. That's good.
Providing.
Yep.
Right?
That makes sense.
Let's see. We've got Daniel and the friends eating the good stuff.
Okay, yep.
Right? So this is a good theme.
I like that.
Yeah, I like this.
I think the theme is cheesy, but I like the connection points here.
Jesus feeds the 5,000.
Okay, there's your loaves and fishes.
And I bet it's the Last Supper. What do you think?
Oh, I absolutely.
Day 5? Oh no. Jesus cooks the catch of the day. The end.
Okay, I do like that story where they see him on the beach and they think he's a ghost,
after
and it's
the
Jesus
resurrection.
cooking that food.
That's really solid.
Yeah, that's good.
How about Passport to Peace?
Passport to Peace.
Passport to Peace. And he stabs. That's it. There's no taglines. Just Passport to Peace.
Passport to Peace?
Ugh.
Is it a traveling theme?
Kinda, yeah. It's got a globe and there's like a plane flying by. Inside one of the P's is a bird, like the dove.
So maybe Jesus travels in his ministry?
Yeah, Passport to Peace. It looks like every day is about different ways of peacemakers.
Oh, that's weak.
Yeah, yep. Philip and the Ethiopian official is the first one.
Okay.
It's not a bad story. Parable of the sheep and goats.
Ooh, that's heavy for kids.
Well, and what does that have to do with
doesn't have anything with peace.
Yeah. David and Nabal.
These are very obscure Bible stories. Kudos to them for giving kids stuff that most kids don't ever learn, but I don't see the common theme tying it all together.
And King Abimelech. That's not peacemakers respond to conflict without using violence. But that's not. They're not. Yeah, and then the Who Is My Neighbor, Good Samaritan, Road Less Traveled.
The theme of the Good Samaritan wasn't about making peace.
Nope. It was about helping people. Passport to Peace. has almost no consistency. None of those stories flow out of each other.
Don't know. If I had to choose 5 stories about peace in the Bible, I would not choose those at all.
Fail. Big time fail.
That's a weak connection.
That's a bad one. All right. There are not very many other, like some of these just look silly. Heart of a Champion. It is a mega sports camp. I don't know. Have you seen
kind of
that?
A fun premise? Okay.
Yeah, this is
so like an outdoor activities based camp.
Well, and this one's very so this is very common. A lot of churches are moving more away from the VBS structure of crafts and games and stuff, and they're doing like just outdoor sports camps.
Yes, I have seen that.
To the popularity of that. Mm-hmm. Okay, so sports camp. Ooh, weird. So they have a Bible story and a sports story together. So it's like the Bible story is God creates the world, Genesis 1 and 2. The sports story is Usain Bolt, and they talk about him.
Okay.
Right, that's okay. Genesis 3, sin breaks in. And then sports story, Serena Williams, penalty punishment.
What's the Bible story?
Genesis 3.
Oh, Genesis 3, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And then Bible story, Jesus is born, Luke 2. Alex Morgan's soccer immersion. I'm not following
the connection point. I'm not seeing the continuity here in ideas.
It's almost like their goal was to take sports people, right, as parables and pair them up with Bible stories.
Oh, that seems a little bit weak, though.
Yeah, you're not going to learn much as far as content. All right. I have a few more that are better.
Okay.
Let me get away from... We're moving over to group.com.
Oh, okay.
Group, which is known for their fabulous VBSs.
Yes.
All right. Monumental. Celebrating God's greatness. And I should say that the picture looks like the Old West. Big, towering, like, piles of rock, and then, like, cacti and a big desert, and there's a little creek, and celebrating God's greatness. And monumental looks like it's made of big golden stones.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
All right. Any stab at to what the topic is or the stories? Monumental.
And it's talking about God's greatness?
Yeah.
Probably the creation stories in there. Maybe God doing the signs and wonders in Egypt. Probably a lot of Old Testament stuff.
You think Old Testament fits with the desert theme?
I mean, when I think of like the greatness of God, I think of the Old Testament. For
sure. It's Joseph. Story of Joseph.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So the first one, day 1, is Joseph family feud. Mm-hmm. Joseph is imprisoned. Mm. And then Joseph gets new responsibilities. Mm-hmm. Jesus dies, comes back to life. Mm. And then Joseph reunites with his family. Mm. And I actually like that. They throw in one with Jesus because
that's what they did for the Roar VBS too. It was 3 days where that 4th day was Jesus, and the 5th day they returned to the Israelites.
And that's actually really classic because you're trying to get the gospel message of Jesus Christ, and you want to tell that story. That's the primary story. But the Old Testament has Jesus's fingerprints all over it, and that's what's really cool about it is that
the themes connect.
Yeah, when you read through it, there is a salvation metaphor in the Joseph story, right? Joseph and Judah, I mean, he gives him an opportunity for repentance and all this stuff, and he becomes a Christ-like figure. And so the messianic theme is all over the Old Testament.
That thread of Jesus runs through the entire story of the Bible.
Right. And so I think that's well done. That's really good. So I do think a little bit they stole this from the VBS, because didn't VBS... PBS.
This is VBS. Good job.
The VeggieTales.
Yes.
Because didn't VeggieTales do the story of Joseph with a Western, Little Joe?
Yes, we actually have that one.
So I kind of think a little bit.
Little Joe. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, yep. But that sounds amazing. That was a good. That's a good one.
That is very good.
All right, this one's called Heyday. Last one.
Oh dear.
Last one. Heyday. And it's growing in friendship with Jesus. And it looks, there's a cow.
I was going to say, is it a farm theme?
Yeah, it's a farm. Yep. And I see a goat and a chicken. And there's like bales of hay and green stuff in the
What's their tagline?
Growing in friendship with Jesus. Heyday. I'm very curious. What on earth?
I have no idea.
Any idea other than, I mean, it's Jesus, right?
The animals in the barn at his birth all having some sort of connection to Jesus. I have no idea.
No, they did that for that one movie, though.
I know. That's why it's cheesy, and I said, never mind. I have no idea.
All right, so it looks like stories of people Jesus befriended.
Oh, okay. Right? Yeah,
and
I can see that.
Transformation stories. So the first day one is Jesus befriends Zacchaeus.
That's pretty cute. I like that. Yeah. Like that.
Wow. All right, so right here, I need to pause before we move on to the next one. The music section, it says, utterly great VBS music.
I don't have words for that.
Someone should get promoted and then fired for that.
Wow. That could be cool. There could be some cool stories in there, like Jesus and some of his other disciples, or Jesus and Mary, or Mary and Martha, or something like that.
Yeah, I think
there's a lot of potential there.
Yeah, there's a lot of that's really
transformative
solid.
Power of Jesus.
Group does a good job. Like I like these. I like these more than some of these other ones that we were looking at. But all right, so that's Motto Mystery Mayhem, where we look at the slogans and taglines and try and figure out what on earth are they trying to sell.
What are you all about here, guys?
Oh, all right. All right, well, that was fun.
That was.
All right, everybody, thanks so much for joining us. If you appreciate this goofy podcast, go ahead, hit like, subscribe, leave us a review. Apparently that affects the algorithm or something like that.
And thanks so much to Music Town for the use of our theme song. Don't forget to check us out on social media. There's Facebook page, Instagram, and a Twitter account.
Yes, are you ready to send us out with the mom joke of the week?
I am. Okay, so are you ready for this?
So ready.
How do you find Will Smith in the snow?
Men in Black. Wait. I don't know. It's something about Men in Black, though.
Just follow the Fresh Prince. So much better than Men in Black.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next time.
See you next time, guys.